parents took me through the chronological history of his life. From the time he grew up in the tenements, I think it was southern Georgia, I think was where he was from, if I'm not mistaken, all the way to up that day that we sat in that chamber. And for 1.5 hours, I sat with him. An hour and a half for the Supreme Court justice is like an eternity. He had young justices outside of his office waiting, and the secretary kept coming in. Justice told him, he said, "Let them wait." This is important. And as I sat with him, and he took me through the history. You know, Clarence was those suspenders. And he got up and he was shuffling through all these papers in his drawers, in his desk. And he brought this little note paper out and a pen. He said, "Write this down." And he said, "Scott," he said, "if you don't remember anything else that I say," he said, "remember this. When it's the right thing to do, it's the right thing to do."
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And that stuck with me. And then I was looking around in his office and I saw the bust of Abraham Lincoln, the bust of Thurgood Marshall, the bust of George Washington. And I said, "Man," I said, "you're one of them." And I said, "You're a history maker." And he looked at me. He said, "There will be more." And he said, "Now it's your turn."
Yes, amen.
But it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Well, in Texas, the Lone Star State, we're doing very good. God's been very gracious to us.
Amen.
In Texas. About 1,100 people a day move here. And we've been blessed with oil and gas revenue, as we all know. We've created more jobs in the last 10 years than the whole country combined. We're the #1 exporter of energy. And I think we just passed Russia and Saudi Arabia in another category. But what about education? What about border security?
Yes.
What about right on crime? What about the protection of religious liberties and freedom?
Amen.
Because if you look around at what's going on, our religious liberties and freedoms are under attack every day.
Yes, they are.
We have a huge hemorrhage problem at our border.
Yes.
With Mexico.
Yes.
We have 300,000 children in our school districts that are underserving them or underperforming.
Yes.
And so when you start peeling back the onion here in Texas, and a lot of times, you know, you have to prune something before it can grow. But complacency and status quo will rob you in your individual life, in your marriage, in your business, in your ministry, and yes, in politics.